districts,
Yeah.
okay, for the school districts. If you carry out that theme, what happens? Aren't you duplicating administration? Whereas if you have a larger group and one administration, wouldn't that be more cost effective?
No, I don't think so, and here's why. Because when they get to the larger, they get more isolated from those who hold them accountable.
Without a doubt.
And when they're farther away from those who hold them accountable, they figure out ways to spend money that you never even see. Okay?
Right.
The contracts get bigger, therefore they grease the hands of certain politicians a little better. Okay? And so actually bigness in this case, where bigness in a company very often will breed efficiencies, bigness in government never does. It works in the opposite direction. It hides dollars. And so as a result, you don't get any efficiency out of bigness in government. Two small districts are going to be far more efficient than one big district. The one big district is going to have all kinds of staff that are associated with it to manage it, simply because it's so big. Then the other thing is it breaks the power of the public unions a little bit by having smaller districts. The bigger the district is, the more hold the unions have on that local district as well.
And that's why charter schools are so good, and private schools is they don't have all of that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a private school would be the perfect example. A private school is no bigger than very often those single schools, and yet it teaches the kids great, and the costs are lower. And that's the essence of smallness. Thank you. That was a great example.
How do you feel about nuclear energy?
I wrote a 12-page white paper on nuclear energy. My opponent has actually come out and said a whole bunch of comments that are wrong in his book that nobody buys. And I'm an electrical engineer. How deep do you want to go?
Don't go too deep.
Seriously, I can tell you the cost of nuclear fuel. It's 0.7 cents per kilowatt hour. When you put it in the plant, it's about 2 to 3 cents per kilowatt hour. It's a beautiful energy source. I would love it. I would build as many as we possibly could, as fast as we possibly could, and create jobs as quickly as we possibly could.
Hydropower.
I love hydropower. They're blowing up a dam up in Condit. They're trying to blow up the Klamath Dam. I love hydropower. I'm a Northwest boy. I know a lot about hydropower as well.
Right in the Northwest.
What?
Right.
Well, a lot of the family came from Eastern Washington, but I was raised in Western Washington over in Everett, right in the shadow of the Boeing plant.
My daughter lives in Woodinville.
I have a house in Woodinville. Still own one there.
And one of the last question, I'd like to know where you eat when you drink. You don't have to graduate. I thought you were 20.
No, I'm 43 years old.
I thought you were just a kid.
No, I'm 43.
You look younger than Ricky Hill.
Oh, no, I get that sometimes. I get that's the first one. But anyway, so any other questions? And then, yeah.
Well, you were talking a lot earlier about the future and the future of the economy. And I know from my perspective, looking at a lot of the big things government, one of the most unsustainable things seems to be Social Security.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just wondering if you supported the Paul Ryan plan, how much of it, and what you would do differently.
I think Paul Ryan's plan is the best plan out there that I've seen, okay? So I would be supportive of it in that sense, okay? Unfortunately, Paul Ryan's plan is only about a quarter to a third of what is even needed. That's the scary part of it. I mean, look at the flack that man takes for having the best plan out there, and it's still only about a third of what is really necessary if you sit down and actually run the numbers. I mean, it is actually frightening. I mean, we are, oh man, it's like 40% out of balance. His doesn't even begin to come to well, it begins, but it doesn't close the gap. Now let's talk about Social Security real quick. Social Security, and one of the points I'm going to make in the campaign, if the government took your Social Security money, as they have, and paid you simply 3% interest over your lifetime for the average person, your Social Security check would be double what it is today. Okay? And so one of the ways I'm going after the Democrats is like this. Double. I'm saying to the Democrats. You guys claim you're the protector of Social Security. Why don't you pay Social Security back on average with just a modest amount of interest, 3%? What happened to all that interest on that money for the last 40 years? Where did it go? Let me tell you where it went. There's about 15% of that money per year goes into non-retirement benefits, and that are rampant with fraud. I'm not saying that a few of them don't do it, but out of the 15%, nearly 10% of that goes to fraud. People that are declared to be handicapped when indeed they're not handicapped. Okay? Now, are some? Yeah. Within any program, you're going to say, oh, that's fine, this is really wrong. Okay? So I think what we need to do is we need to take the money that doesn't go to retiree benefits, and we've got to cap that. We've got to say it's either going to be 10% or 5%. And, okay, out of that 10%, deliver it to the most needy, but it's not going over 10%. Okay? That would actually up the Social Security payment and start to get some of that interest back into Social Security. Because the worst investment you will make in your lifetime is Social Security if you actually run the numbers for the average person. I'm not talking to wealthy people. Wealthy people is far worse. But if you just look at your average person making an average wage in the United States, living an average lifetime, it will be the worst investment you will ever make in your life. No financial planner would ever recommend it. But, so as a conservative, we made a commitment, so I'm not advocating cutting Social Security. But I'm going to do an education process, say, where's the interest? Come on, guys, let's up the number, until they want to say, we stole your interest. Okay? That's where
I
I'm
think
at.
they stole the whole trust.
Yeah, they did. It's all IOUs. That's all it is. Sorry,
Well,
go
we
ahead.
would like to thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Very informative and stuff, and we have a small gift for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Pen that says gracias, because we run the
Oh,
Church
yeah.
United here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to turn it back over to,
Okay, this meeting is back in order.